It's Sid from Anesthesia101online.com. Happy New Year to everybody. 2020 was a lot of stuff going on around the world, stuff happening in my life. Unfortunately, I myself contracted the coronavirus. Not fun to have with. So hopefully I'll get the vaccination soon and get that out of my life. I don't want that anymore. It was not a fun time for me. And congratulations to those that have graduated and getting ready to take their boards. So I figured I'd do a video since people are getting ready to take their boards right now. So I'm going to show you 10 tips, tricks that came across my table. Some of you may know I'm doing my doctorate, finished up my PhD, and my study is actually on taking the NCE and their approach and methods to taking the NCE. I figured I'd do a video on that. So let me share my screen. There we go. Hopefully you all can see this. Let me move this a little bit this way. Okay, see better. Good. So, as I'm interviewing my participants for my study, so these things have popped up a long way during my interview, and I'm sharing this with you because some of you are probably studying for your boards now, getting ready to take it near the end of this month, for this new year, for a new beginning for your profession. So 10 things you should know before you take the nurse anesthesia boards, NCE, which is administered by the NBCRNA, the nurses board of certification, recertification of nurse anesthetists. So number one, this came across: study like it's a job. You know what I mean? Okay, you graduate, you're done. You in that mind state that when you were doing your nurse anesthesia education program, NAEP, whatever respective program you're in, that it was a job. It's even with clinicals, you show up early, you stay late, and you finish the job. Especially with taking courses, you do the same thing. You go in, you take classes, you come back, you eat lunch, dinner, relax a little bit, study, and then just keep doing the same routine, same scheduling. So once you're done with school, you graduate, that doesn't actually go away, because not a lot of the general public doesn't know that, yes, you graduate with this master's degree, but unfortunately you cannot work without national certification or some kind of state board licensure. So you can't work without. So it is a job. If you don't get this certification, you get this licensure, you can't work. So do it like it was a job. So things that popped up during my interview was a lot of people study from a certain time, either Monday through Friday, took the weekend off, basically, I'm sorry, 8 hours a day. Take a little sip of tea here. One second. So, whatever it is, it could be at Starbucks, it could be Panera Bread, it could be a house, it could be a basement, the office, wherever. But do it as if it's a job, and because you graduate doesn't mean you're done. So I know we get into the holidays with Christmas, New Year's, you try that celebratory streak, but try to avoid that. Just tell your immediate family that, hey, give me a month or so, I'll come back. It's just temporary, just like the COVID virus. So, number two, implement the same study styles you've been using during your education. So during your NAEP, National Nurse Anesthesia Education Program, don't change anything. I mean, it's been working you for the past 36 months or shorter for some of your programs. Don't change it up. So why start a new thing while you're trying to study for your boards? So just stick with that same program. It worked for you. You got through the program. You graduate. You passed the program. So don't change anything. Stay with that program. Either some of you may be a visual learner. So what I've been looking at throughout my study is the andragogy part of it. So adult learning, basically. The pedagogy is actually the grade school, lower level learning, more of a instructional kind of implementation of education. in nurse anesthesia, it's more back and forth. It's more reciprocating. It's more, they call it flipped classroom. So it's more student to teacher or instructor rather than instructor to student. So whatever you're using, you've been either using flashcards, using visual charts or graphs, or for some of you, you should know that on the NC there's hotspot questions. So if you're a visual learner trying to pinpoint some certain anatomy for brachial plexus block, or even low pressure on a ventilator or something, you have to be able to identify and point and click. And some of they may come easy because it's a graphic form. So those questions may be popping up on your exams. So stick with what you know, what you've been using as an andragogical learner, an adult learner, what's been using versus what hasn't been used in the past. So don't try anything new, basically what I'm trying to tell you. And the theme with most of these participants is everybody's using Apex. When I was going to school, Apex wasn't around yet, so I couldn't say, but it sounds like it's a great program. It's usually part of your tuition. It's built to your tuition and part of your program. And kudos to Kevin Baker. I actually know him, and his colleague, his partner, that has built this this company. And I just heard Dr. Chuck Biddle, also that writes for the ANA Journal. It's also joined their team. So it's going to be a stellar team, a Star Trek team. Maybe Kevin or any of the members from Apex Anesthesia can reach out to me and maybe we can do some kind of collaboration, or maybe give you guys a discount or some kind of affiliate link or something. But it sounds like Apex Anesthesia is the way to go. The people that I've interviewed already, they had many success because they've done it during their study, during the education, rather than waiting to the end to do all Apex. And I guess there's modules in there and there's mock exams. So go through all that, whatever your program recommends. But it seems like Apex Anesthesia is the way to go. And why fix something else that's been working? Number 4, be aware of your surroundings. Stay around your group study, just social media in general. When I was never a Facebook book fan, but finally, slowly as I matured, I've come to use Facebook in a different way rather than as like an album. I use social media as professionally, basically. So be careful of that, especially when you take your boards. You kind of want to, it's nice to know what everybody else is doing, but you want to kind of shun yourself, kind of put yourself in a little mind state that you can't pay attention to what people are posting either a week, 2 weeks before your exam, because people are going to post, oh, I just passed the NC in 10 days or something like that. Just, be aware of that and try to stay away from that area. Your friends, just keep up with them, see how they're doing. What's working for them may not work for you. So don't change any of that. And like I spoke about earlier, tell your loved ones, your husband, your wife, your significant other, your family that, hey, I need to do this. It's just temporary. We can't spend the holidays together because of the pandemic. Now I got to study my boards. Just tell them, if you guys really love me, give me my time. I need this 1 month or so to study, and then I'll be back. I'll be better after this, because then you'll have a job. You'll have a great paying job after this. So just be aware of that, and avoid any negative talk. People are always going to talk about, oh, well, that he wasn't the best student either. That's why he failed. So you can't be thinking like that. You got to fill your mind with positive affirmations. Think yourself, I'm going to do this. You got to kind of visualize yourself taking the exam, passing it, and just having that weight off your shoulder, and be grateful for what you have and what you've gone through and what you have surpassed that many have not been able to go through. I'm pretty sure you've known some people that have attrition out of the program. It's a tough program. It'll make you a better person at the end of it. Just know that it's built that way, that because of the study we do, the type of profession we're in, this is, somebody's lives are actually in your hands. So you have to be committed and be part of this all the way rather than halfway in, halfway out. And take the NC when you're ready. And, you know, to be honest, I was never ready. I mean, some of you know I didn't pass my boards on the first attempt. And even the second attempt, and I passed the second time around, still wasn't ready. You can never study everything. So just be aware that but just don't rush yourself. Like some people put themselves in a pigeonhole. Oh, I'm going to take in 2 weeks. Yeah, maybe it might be good because you've been doing it. It's fine, great. But if you really paying attention to social media, you pay attention to Instagram, like, hey, just pass it in 10 days, and don't do that. You know, just stick with your plan and take it when you're ready. Don't tell them. Personally, I don't tell people the date I took it. You know, I just even like weeks before, I didn't tell nobody, except my wife, of course. And then practice meditation. Number 7. Be able to, you know, have that visual. I'm not trying to be religious with anybody. It's just that meditation. It's more of a spiritual thing. It's not religious. It's getting to know yourself internally, visualizing yourself, be able to see, and then kind of what your mind thinks it can become. I mean, look at all the greats, from anybody that created anything, from vaccinations to the light bulb to a computer to a phone. It was up here in the beginning, and then became real and physical by fruition just because of thoughts. So just be aware of your negative thoughts and feel those affirmations and practice your meditation and visualize. One thing is that I didn't see when I was interviewing some of these participants, they didn't use any class notes. So a lot of the participants in my study, it seems like most of them used Apex, and they just stuck with that. They didn't go back to like class. I mean, you can go back just to kind of understand it a little bit better, but just know the NC is based on your textbook. It's not based on PowerPoints. It's not based on your notes. It's not based on, you probably don't have or probably don't know about Cliff Notes back in the days. So they don't have Cliff Notes anymore, but you know, just use what you've been using, either be Apex, Valley, core concepts, but you know, Apex has come across my table as being the number 1 spot right now. Number 9, build your endurance by taking, I guess there's mock exams on the Apex Anesthesia program they have. When I took it, Valley had one and Prodigy had one, Prodigy Anesthesia. Shout out to Peter Stello, I know him too. So, you know, there's mock exams you can take, so build your endurance. You know, it's a 3 to 4 hours. I took the 3 hours when I took it the second time around, and I still did well. So it did shut down me. So it must be a good sign. I took my time. It was the, you know, the full 3-4 hours, whatever you want. And then find your why, your motivation. So this goes back to my dissertation here. The 2 things I was looking at was self-efficacy. So the belief in yourself. You have to believe you can do it. That you have the eternal desire. You have that motivation, that grit, that you're going to make it, that self-determination. So that was the 10 things that came across my table. But if you haven't already, please consider being part of my study. I'll leave my email in the description below. So email if you think you want to be part of the study. So I'm looking for senior sRNAs that just graduated, and then any cRNAs that graduated recently within the 6-7 months, you know, that has just got their licensure, just started working maybe past 6 months, 6 or 7 months. You can contact me then. Leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on these 10 things that you should know about. But the study that I'm focused in on is the self-efficacy. So the belief in yourself, that's based on Bandera's psychosocial theory. And also I'm also looking at Malcolm Knowles' andragogy. So the adult learning process, you know, what's different when you were a grade school, a pedagogical kind of approach versus andragogy. So I went with this study because you can look at many studies, and they've looked at GPAs, they looked at you know, GRE scores, and then your grades and your sciences when you're in nursing school. All of that has been done and published many times, and you can look. If you guys are interested, you can, you know, go ahead and Google all that, and you can find all that it's very easy, but the mentality behind going through anesthesia school, you know, the ups and downs, the challenges, the unique situations. I mean, that's why I did this study. Your situation may be different. I mean, people have sold the house, either went through bankruptcy, had divorce during their program. So a lot of things factor in that, you know, built the person, the student, the graduate to who they are right now. I mean, going through all that, I cannot imagine. I went through it when I was going to school with a short sale. So in 2008, 2009, it was tough for me. You know, I was facing foreclosure, but, you know, I got through school. I had two little ones at home. I had a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time. So it's a lot of those things that, you know, that people don't think about. Yes, you have the education part, you have the academic part. The guy is focused, he can study well, but then you got to have this mind state that you have to persevere and be resilient to these things that come along the way. And that's what I'm interested in. So if you're interested in the study, comment below. I'll leave my email and connect with me. And if you're listening on Spotify or any other podcasts out there, I'll leave this on my podcast also. You can come back to the YouTube channel and we can connect then. I hope to talk to you soon. Again, Sid from Anesthesia101online.com. If you haven't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Every time I upload a video, it'll notify you. Hit that thumbs up button, turn that light blue for me. All right, I will talk to you guys very soon. Let me see if I can stop this thing here.